Yinarai assassini airport in my moja nananu shegu edigu on my
Memo bibi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Fiti Endra ebesi ende. Eye Sam George ne din a trende. Na alongside Sam George din na trende no. Obehu ne se trend kesiye baako eye LGBTQ+. Na yeka LGBTQ+ a nini na eye emse omo a womo aye omo adwen se womo de womo ne oba ene oba na beda obema ne obema na beda just for it entails a lot. What I say it entails a lot even beyond these two things, but ye person crofoti as ye nti no ye kan sa eno na crofo beti as ye Ghana fon so womo a okay, oh dear. But nini na no. But we call Ghana street terms of muyusu and the sebe mo fan cheme eye trumu trumu for yi mo fan cheme mesrew. O kan the sana Ghana for ebete de ye kan yase. Obi wo ho a LGBT den you nim what you say. Now, onim say earlier this year a conversation kese bia epeja ne mu because womo ebeye womo center ewo encrying. Na Ghana for ni na esoriti a ahemfo. Ngofu bebre na esoriti a say eba ne say na oman a saade ne yenjin tumu na afa yetumi ebesi ne center ewa ha. Enti just say yete Ghana na yete se terrorists bi ana terrorist organization bi ana armed robbers bi akwakote wo mo center ebo bebi a yenko ye ho hwe ana. Enti ngrofo akasa ye na ye de ya no ehyemu ema police for eco close place ne down because indeed na yese etia Ghana mra. Na okwa Ghana mra ne mu yi a omo ana omu ne mra no so etre se yes Ghana mra no na ekase tia this particular thing but na ensheda anya specific sa ensheda anya specific etre se yesi supi se wo bia wo ye trumu asa ya Ghana mra ne ye kan ne fa some way bi so atre se na ye hu ne se enkrofo bi ebetumi exploit na wo mo amomo asema yeden ayede eho na parliament both MPP and NDC members bi womo yo mo adwen say this time around there womo de omo differences ebeto nchen na womo ama ya pass bill ewo parliament so that ebeye categorically clearly stated say adie we ye chin say wokokoya na ye chewa ubedem mfie sei first na enye sanity enti eba ne sa no na was say and you see. And this was something that even got the support from the Speaker of Parliament. So Nankasa Edenisa Beshemu Awaka say one share as a Speaker of Parliament no one tena share na Ghana BBC ANC inti committee ana encrophobia entena se na womonye na womo emfa recommendations on the bill embra ni pass bill no. Inti MPP both MPP and NDC members be etena se na utumi hu ne se oni kra na wodi assemble enimpa Sam George because rightfully so even before Speaker of Parliament Bekano Sam George and then I think the Deputy Education Minister and some other few people were the people who sent the thing to the Speaker and they cast okay enti wo mo akọ draft bill na wo mo kọ draft ye no ehun ensem ehun kakra ababonten ama ababa bedane international topic and there mene okase Sam George ntoko a work the ding with a year say UK 4 MPs be and the Ghanaian celebrities be native for easy just say senia womo toto abom ho no enye easy just because Ghana Sam George decide we animo a ye de bill no aba. Now the leaked document no eno na eda wenim no me read bi na ye hu the airco. Now, of course, let me say this. Some MPs are also running from it, both the MPP and the NDC side. Because some MPs, some your lawyers, some who say, oh, about human rights and sense someone, a yana idea where you say, we jank for no more your mwade. But some very few people, to show more, as some way, womu di mu etinti main pana. Yes, our MPs now womu your lawyers, no. Because Sam George is not a lawyer. The Deputy Education Minister, MCFN Mr. Forjo said, don't put a reverend. And also one lawyer. Into omo a omo nye lawyers no mo asom wetintiman because omo susu se dabi. Se yan kasa ho a ade we ebe se wo man no. Na unim de eye nkrofo de ene se Sam George nye obi a oba beka ne ho asem on social media wo be yekom. Into wo hwe so far celebrities aka setia ne na wa blast wo bia mande still Sam George ne din e trendy. Okohwe aye say hey Sam George de ndie ntokwa atre say we be kan na wa man punch we be kan na wa man bako no punch. You read some of the tweets and then you see say Charlie enye fedi agro kra e was Sam George side ho. But let's go into it now. The part of the document I think say the bill is 33-paged bill. Now the part of the document now about bonte no me read the entry mo. Or say the first one no. Or say this act applies to a person who holds out as inti sa act ya ye pasi wo mo a ebe affect yo mo e na ye ba bebubo wo mudin no. 1, a lesbian. 2, a gay. Just a lesbian your ba oni obada. 2, gay sebe obema woni obema da. 3, bisexual. Obema waye na adwen se won one oba ebeda fine oni obema nso ebeden ebeda. Into bisa no your friend bisexual. Ono de 2 ni na the mana obere. Now 4, a transgender. Ye ka transgender wo bia wo ye oba nanso wakwa ye surgery na wabeda ne obema. Wonse mbrofofo no motaye pa. Aha. Ana wo bia wo ye bema na wono nso akwa ye surgery na waba beda ne oba. Aha, and if any transgender. 5, transsexual. And you see some of LGBTQI we know there are a lot of groups. Send your mama motias, you know. So you per se ye tremo a ye be can say oh say be gay for any lesbians for, but there are a lot of people under this particular group I crying him. Today is the first time I'm even hearing of transsexual. But let me ask Google. Say transsexual no then meba. Hey Google. Who is a transsexual?
According to Wikipedia, transsexuals are people who experience a gender identity that is inconsistent with their assigned sex and desire to permanently transition to the sex or gender with which they identify, usually seeking medical assistance to help them align their body with their identified sex or gender.
Okay. People who experience a gender identity that is inconsistent with their assigned sex and designed to permanently transition to the sex or gender with which they identify, usually seeking medical assistance, including sex reassignment therapy, such as hormone replacement. Okay, when so a idea be a taisi, once will be or higher wono, Obama. Nanso, or sheni mo to me when said Dabi. Me a ya woman Obama nas, a some more can say, oh, one more ember trapped in Bema body. Into a sheni mo to make us so Dabi. Me a ya woman Obama no. Ushemi mu pa me yoba into to me kwa hospital and I went some esiwa broche o to me kwa hospital na wa ma ya mama ni ndro na wa num ndro na into to me sesano e ma ni hormones ene ni nyama wo to me yes surgery ni nyama e ma ne bedane oba aha eno nso e wo ho into your money from transsexual tese wo mo sesa wo mo sex a queer eno nso e ka ho an ally, a pansexual, or a person of any other sociocultural notion of sex or sexual relationship that is contrary to the sociocultural notions of male and female or the relationship between males and females. Inti yabobo din ena wotre se wo mo a affect yo mo ena yabobo mu din no. Na wo wi no sanso ka se wo bia sebe wono de why na adwen se sa oba ne obema on say normally no eye oba ne obema ene wo se sebe omudi paso agro obi a why na adwen so no de won nye ne sa we ni bia no oka ho bi I say questioning the sexuality of that person who has a biological anomaly, including a person who is intersex, involved in the promotion of inti yabobo omo a womo eka ho inti ye ka se wo bi a involved in promotion or promotion of propagation of advocacy for support or funding of LGBTQIAAP+. Just say, enya ye ka embra we a yede ba na omo a embra ne bedi omo no. Enya sebe womo a womo di se edwuma we ipe. Omo a womo san so boa san krofo yi edi se edwuma no. Ati ase, enti yemfa ne se ebia obi ewo YouTube channel. No ni YouTube channel no wa ye na adwen se wo be kasa ama san krofo yi ama womo edwuma die no akoso. Embra no nso be kan wa wo ye sa de no nso embra ne be kan. Also, who provides or participates in the provision of sex or gender reassignment, surgical procedure, or any other procedure intended to create a sexual category. Hey, maza. It's doctors na. Womo bua nkrofo yi. Ebi a wako doctor ho se doctor, me your bema na nso be se me dane oba. Sa doctors no mo ye sa de ne kra no mo nso mo ya embra ne be chemu atum. Who engages in a sexual activity prohibited under this act. Obi wo ho a wono wonji ntum se wo ye gay, wonji ntum se wo ye lesbian. Nanso kukwemu no otumi ni obema koda. Nti wonso a woka ho saa no embre ebechew. So these are the people a embra we a ye di be ebe affect yomo. Now, I see interpretation. I see in this act, unless the context otherwise requires ally, means a non-queer person who supports or advocates the queer community or is an individual with the LGBTQ blah 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 community and identifies with another member of the community. Approved medical help includes psychiatric service, psychological service, psychosocial, counseling service, and any other service provided to a person engaged in, involved in, or associated with a sexual activity prohibited under this act to enable the person overcome any biological or psychological challenge related to a sexual activity prohibited under this act. And aside everything, no, I think say that line, no, if I want to understand, approved medical help. Not as a medical help I approve it say doctors are womo be make sure say womo ni nkrofo we be kasa no mo etu omo fo womo de ase omo no embra no enchi omo because one say embra no e kan say wa obeboa nkrofo we ewe adwuma a womo ye no nti say okwa doctor na ono so ye surgery no won so ono so obo omo but doctor bi nso ye psychologist wono a wo ye psychologist no woni de bia woni omo kasa no mo asesa but ono so obo omo in a way. But odi omo nso ka ho na one specifier obon say sa doctor ni anhwe ni ya mbra no so be che no. I feel say I don't really understand the statement here, but I feel say approved medical help no say sa psychiatric service ne psychological service for we na no de ye be ma omo kwan no mo ni nkrofo yi ayeden ayedwuma. Or say approved medical treatment includes endocrinological service, medical service, surgical service, or any other service provided to a person engaged. Okay. So I think that this is the some parts of the document, the bill na elikino, and a man bebre bought Sam George chi because ono and I would this same way in him. A year a way me who say ama Twitter crano one man a warning. I won't send me who based on this particular issue. Sam George na let me show you. Ono crab post here. Twitter app for every man warning no say omo way but nini na ya de da ho. Man microphone so man support. So one cost so anonye. Because usi krum na obisa Ghana for a lot of people are supporting Sam George. Almost say dear Sam George no Gabi Asario Trader kwa ba be pass comment bi a utumi hu ne say he wasn't in support of this particular thing. So this is what Sam George tweeted. Unse Twitter for a man report. Or say a new report about Sam George has been received. And I say so they want us to accept their perversion but cannot accept our opinion of their perversion. Thankfully, the folks at Twitter apply some common sense and logic. In terms of Nkrofui echo reported Sam George ne nsɛm a wɔtrɔyɛ no ɛfa saa LGBT fo yi ho ɛna LGBT fo yi ɛkɔ reported Sam George ɛnam sɛ Twitter for ɛbɛtrɔ ɛma Sam George sɛ Sam George yi nsɛm a wakɔ akɔtrɔ no deɛ nkrɔfoɔ ɛbɛka ni. So Sam George basically from yesterday ɛnyɛ ntɔkwa ketewa ɛna wako ɛwɔ social media. He has been fighting with a lot of people, including sɛnea mema mote aseɛ no UK MPs, Ghanaian celebrities, and I just want to show you. So this is Lydia Forson. Lydia Forson can send be na Sam George man reply. The Lydia Forson, the Ghanaian actress, was say Sam George came to write a lengthy Twitter post about the failed health system. After the rant, even more people have died, and very little has been done. Yet he's attacking people for ranting about issues without solutions. Help me make sense of it. Inti mo embra Sam George Becker say hospital na ne assemblyman bi ne ba we di 11 years who ye no na Lydia Force na Becker Sam George say sa time no be kan sem bebre oberantie be kan sem obi ani wa attack no e ba ne se ne nde de omo a wo mo ka se tia sa bill yi a wo mo de ba na Sam George no attack Sam Krofo no mama wati ase enye fediagro ewo social media ho sa ntokwa atrese Sam George ne nkrofo ekon nti ene na ma Lydia Forson ebetro sa de we na Sam George enso e de ban so ebe man reply bia minim se we hu say reply no enam social media. There are a lot of people are talking about the reply. I don't know what's happening to my internet, but Ghana internet there is here there enye kra Ghana internet service providers no ntetie for yen training load na Sam George ne reply a wode man nti Sam George be reply or say when someone as sophisticated as you come asking me solutions for developmental challenges, it shows the problem of our nation. You are scared to your marrow to take on the government that has the responsibility. You think it is safer and easier to vent at an opposition MP. Pathetic. In the Sam George Catherine say, only their force and someone walking and their hospital, the hospital, no. I say, o pese, o trese, o nyachum. Because, yes, me MP. Me MP, me jumane se me pass law. And indeed, it is true. MPs, no, when me jumane se won be pass law. In the Sam George, so, one man kasa babontia babeka se, one in the constituencies, for the constituents, no. When you are kotena se eye meetings bebre Emma womo Emma ne vim say one brand be passes our law way interna wodi law nechi because ningo pram for you womo support you no Sam George into no there wo yama ne nkro for no into wo pass a ejuma ye de no aba parliament no ukwa Ghana embrande mu a that is it ye ka parliamentarian ene ne de say wo be sikwan ene ne de say wo be ma unsuo ni ono ne de ne say wo be pass law a mumususu say law ne be boamo. But Ghana na politics no parliamentarians nankasa because they want to win inti. Womo ba no ma be kato say ndie ye ba ye be ye kwan ye ba ye be ye say but womo dia ne mra. But a lot of people don't know so they are attacking Sam George. And Sam George trying to say hey in some way wo can say hospital there me be kasa for hospital ne ho no. Me no opposition MP. Me need to me bia wo hospital ho. Hospital asem a wo kan. Say nya atwom e na wo Lydia Force na ye wa kasatia aban no. Because I abide no what to me say we best hospital no. Na me am your opposition MP. O be kan hospital asema treme. Say me nya den. Den na metumi aya afa ho. It reply as Sam George edema Lydia Force no. A lot of people we so Sister Debbie ati ase. Sister Deborah de no na nya asem ketwa. One Sam George ntokwa ne de tiefo. Yentokwe bi ana trend ohwe let me show you an article. Let me show you an article. Meba ma mentramo article bi. And then we'll read that article so you understand the whole thing. Intieni how Sister Debbie and Sam George social media feud started. So let's read this article. Inti Sister Debbie ni Sam George de no. Ye are ne akọ UK politician. Ono nso ne de no. I see this is the story. Inti Sister Debbie ehu post no asemo a Sister Debbie na betro first. O say I have been overwhelmed. No, okay, we Sam George need no. Okay, em say oh me bow. Okay, so Sam George na betro say Endra or say I have been overwhelmed by the massive support even here on a very liberal platform like Twitter for our bill on the LGBTQI+ menace. Homosexuality is not a human right. It is a sexual preference. Preferences are not absolute or unregulated. We shall pass this bill through. It is Sam George say, nkrofo bebrama ne support. Na wono de saa bill we nkrofo ne pa omo a womo ekasetia no womo nkosoro embra fom bill we eyade a wo be pass. Them say in reply no, and Sister Debbie Betro say, you are only doing this to score political points, forgetting the harm you are causing queer folk. Tell us what else you personally gained from passing this bill, if not political points. Shame on you. It is Sister Debbie as some of the Sam George. Sam George, I dey way ye politics keke na oye. Because our bill way ye na o ko pass na amasebi give for and ho ba betro mo e wo Ghana no. Se enye politics pa e den na wo benye fi ade a wo ye mu. Asem a Sister Debbie kind no. And Osanso ka say Sam George, shame on you. In a quick reply no, and Sam George beka trend say, hopefully when you figure out what genre of music you can succeed at, we can have a forward-looking conversation. Until then, say hi to Medical for me. Cheers. It is Sam George that some of the Sister Debbie ne say, Sister Debbie, una say obo njom, media mi hu njom papa bia woto. Say one day, otena se na hu ni say oh, ebi a wobo high life, ebi a wobo hip hop, ebi a wobo gospel, ene be boawa. Brana beka treme Sam George. Na obeka treme as that time no de ye betena se ne akasa afa ho. Enti no pe okwan so nakọ. Na okwa chia Medical emame. Now obi beka say aden na Sam George ka se won chia Medical emano. First no na Sister Debbie ni chocho mucho ene Medical. Ena Medical ebema ni broken heart na Medical jai no kofa fela makafui. Inti Sam George e kan semwe na nkrofo beka say yeah Sam George asembe ni ena wakwa akofa abai asembe nkre ni ena wakwa akofa abai nti omontokwa no eye ntokwa bia a trend. And so this is even a report I read the trail from Ghana Web. Not to say a trend there enye trending kitwa. It's a lot of people mbese me tremo UK it's UK politician no oni na ono ne de no na asem kra yesre. Sam George beka asem no na UK politician ne beka say what an appalling way to treat your fellow human beings. I hope you come to your senses and reconsider rather than build on backward colonial legacies that have damaged and limited the lives of so many. Where is the love? UK politician na catch Sam George say sabe Sam George sa ade we amu ye nyansan nim eye tete kwamu nsem bejimi bra tete bejimi bre no eye emu nsem Sam George ade a wo pese wo ye nyansa ba ko nim because o be hankrofo keke enya de a eye na jai na odona e wose wo don krofo no e wo he UK politician wo ena ono ebe kan asem we Ghana for ayen ye kan ya asem no no UK politician ni fi se ana ofili se obetumi akasa atre yen de yen ye be ye na hwede Sam George katre no Sam George katre ne say I would be glad when you and your fellow MEPs come to your senses and legalize polygamy. Can you show me the science or common sense behind your criminalization of polygamy? You may think yourselves so wise, but the joke is on you, mate. The love is in the common sense. It is Sam George Catherine say, hey, me many baji, some one more UK hono. So what Bema? Moba peneso say Obema so won worry embado drobia Obema nepe. Because yes, oko abrochi Europa. O ye Bema na oko worry mba mienu a ye bechi watum. It is Sam George Catherine say, well, me ni baji pa say mo UK mo MPs nenso. wo mo beye embra se yen embra mo tre yen se embra ne nye enya mo nso mo de no se mo ma se be wo mo a wo mo ware emba mienu mo ma ye chi omo atum no mo nso mo yi sa embra ne mfi ho na ye common sense na tie reply or the breast Sam George or say you can reach for absurd comparators all you like, but it is not the sensible argument you think it is. There is certainly no science or common sense behind your bill, only hatred, needless pain, and the pursuit of an arcane colonial legacy. As some of the Sam George say, sa comparison ana event saying in some of Sam George de toto ho no nyansen nim enye sensible argument na me bisa say enye sensible saying obi tini krom se wono won pese sebe ade we bekoso ne ni enje ho sa sebe gays anyway no utu krom se da bi nipa ko no tini krom no mo nya ne sa e na nipa ko no tini krom no so tre so okay usu krom no meni ji bibi ho wo ho a won so won pene so me no so koso o se da bi de wo kan de nyansa nim ono ka tre wo se ono ne de no so ye no se nyansa nim ba wo de ne de opese ono fa inti na wo mo ko at it back and forth and as Sam George Becker trend say you see how quick you retreat from the question of science and logic in your criminalization of polygamy shows how weak your argument is. An arcane colonial legacy is you holding on to the vestige of colonial economic suppression of the African continent. You should be ashamed. Into Sam George Becker say once I would de ba wo de ne so de o pese wo dane dane wo ho o pese wo dane dane wa asem inti mo dia no mo mo dia ne dia onso argument ni ye weak o kan brofo akese wom but the simplest explanation I can give to you na mediama no and a UK politician Sansobe reply say I am not responsible for the economic system. You, however, are responsible for the decisions you make. There is no science or logic to back up your persecution of LGBT people. Only hatred. You will drive people into fear and misery for the sake of votes. You are a disgrace. Into Gusto Katre, Sam George say, Adia Sam George ye, Woma and Crofaba be time gave for keke. Once Sam George Katre say, Mo Mbrofofono, ye ba Africa, ye continent, more suppressed economically. Ena Obroni no, MP no Katre say, na media, me, I don't handle it. I'm not in for that. What I say, or say, I'm not responsible for the economic system. And no Obroni no so the all canon. And Obi reply say, he asked you a question on polygamy, and you've still not replied. Because why don't you talk about that one too? Just as you are being so tough on the LGBT bill. Into Obi so beka try and say, hey, Obroni, mi krom ye beka ni yevu. O si Obroni yevu. Sam George bisa wasem se obema wa ye na adwen se wo be ware mba dodo e wo mu krom. Mo mpese mo be pene. Obisa wo sa asem no o mpese wo be kan bibia afa ho. And then na won kasa amfa ho. Ye de ne de. Watwe wano tintintin ba be kasa afa ho. E de na wo ka. And also because it is a nonsense red herring. Into ono asem a wo ka and they say when you Sam George no because polygamy no ya de bia nyanse nim. Ye ka se bibi a nonsense address nyanse nim. Wo de ne de wo krom no. So what bema be ware mma more than one and more than one no. Wo de wo se na de nyansa nim. Nanso yen krom de yen ma wo bema ne obema mfa ne to omo ho. Yen ma ba ne obanda ene de nyansa wom. Inti won. All these people, they are just in for their selfish gains. That's what I think. And Obeka said, you still haven't replied his question. Say, it will be something baby sans massa. Still are there okay? Question no answer it. And I say, I haven't talked about gun control either because it is not in any way relevant to the discussion. And ode etio tutuonsem ebemu. Etio tutuonsem a argument. And Obibeka said the whole country supports the passing of this bill. Until Obibeka tre Obroni ne say Obroni ei wuti wukrom Ghana ha say ye de obia supporti sa bill we. And I say the ones whom it will target probably don't. just because something has the support of a majority doesn't make it right. Persecuting minorities isn't a virtue. Into some of the kind say, one more idea na ebe form ho ne de, one more en support it. Inti enya idea eye just because one more does inti na ye persecute yomo. Uno bibeka say, if something has the support of a majority, do you rather implement it in the favor of minority? Is that how you people do your things? Into be bisan say into wo hwa say majority nkrofo dodo ka say wo mo pe bibia. Omo a wo mo ye ketua na wo mo beka say wo mo empe no, omo mo hunti na obeya ana. And it is just like voting. Yemfa ne say yakwa akoto aba. Na dodo na say ye pe President Akufo-Addo ne aka say oh because dodo na ka say ye pe President Akufo-Addo na ya to ama ne nti. Ye beka say Mahama na we wini. Just say that is the logic. Broni obi aba be bisa ne say into their whole party no sa na eti ana. You see? Ena obi beka say a shock serve. Broni a we Jimmy. Enti on beso obedi na tem e wo brofu mu. Ena obeka sa say onokra ne wawa na broni a we Jimmy say the ohun bi da. So a lot of people were talking about this. So this is the issue. Montre mwadwo comment box ni motie for me da say.